Right, so this is the first video for the Dance Beat project, and I have already downloaded all of the files I need in my Dance Beat folder. If I double click on it, it's on my desktop. There is an MP3, which is the audio we're going to use, and then there's a video folder that has tons and tons and tons of videos in it. And so let me also just kind of mention all of these videos I've received from royalty-free sites. From Pexels, Pixabay, and Videezy. So, and they are all, you might notice, 1920 by 1080. So they're all the horizontal. So I did a search for that. So these are all kind of ready to go into the same project. Okay. So I am opening up Premiere Pro, new project, and I'm going to name it with my file convention, which is last name, first initial, underscore, and then the name of the assignment. I need to almost always change the location. So I'm going to make sure that I am in the Dance Beat folder and put save here. And then I double check. My folder name is correct, my location is correct, and then I create. And I want you to, if you forget about it, you can still skip out of it, but I can also click on skip import mode. And this will take me immediately to my workspace, which is what I prefer. So I'm going to go there, and here's my workspace. Okay. Now, if yours doesn't look like this, make sure you're in Windows, Workspace, Editing. And then if it still doesn't look like this, try going to reset to saved layout. Okay. And so here are my four main windows. I'm going to click on each one, and you'll notice that when I click on it, a thin blue line emerges around it, and that tells me that that's the window I'm in. So I'm currently in the source window, and then down below, it's the project window, and the source window is connected to the project window. Up here at the top, I'm in the program window. And then below that is the timeline, and the program and the timeline are also connected. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to import media. I'm going to desktop Dance Beat, and I'm going to do this separately. So if you have things that are already in a folder and you want them to be imported as a folder, click on the folder, and then down here, click on import folder. So I'm going to do that. There it shows up. Then I'm going to deselect it. I don't know if you saw that it was thin gray and it was selected. So now I'm going to deselect it. And I'm going to do Control I, which is the shortcut for importing. And I'm going to click on the MP3. Now, the reason I did that is that if the video bin folder had been selected, then this MP3 would have gone into that folder, and I don't want it to. So I'm going to do that here. And so here I have my audio, here I have my video. Okay. So I wanted to show you something. So a video, look if I'm hovering next to this folder icon next to video, the words appear video bin. Adobe Premiere Pro, instead of using the word folder, uses the word bin, B-I-N. So that's just important later on so that you know that. All right. So one of the things that I wanted to mention is that all of these videos in here, let's look at Dance Bee. Dance Bee isn't necessarily the first video we're going to use, but let's look at Dance Bee. Down here, it has just a purple box on it, which means it's video only. You'll look at Dance D, it has a purple box and a blue waveform. So this video has both video and audio, okay? So I'm gonna get a video only. So this is Dance B. And I'm going to click, I'm hovering over the icon, and I'm gonna right click, and I'm going to say new sequence from clip. So I want to make a sequence in my timeline. And the reason I'm doing it this way is that I want my whole sequence to reflect the settings that are on this clip. So it's going to pop up here. Okay, here it is. Okay. Now, when I did that, there's a new sequence, which right now is named Dance B. Okay. I don't really want it to be called Dance B. So I am going to come over here to my project window and I'm going to rename this. Now you'll notice here's my MP4 video only. That's the clip. And right above it is Dance B, and there is a different icon. That's the sequence icon, 3 horizontal lines with a kind of arrow vertical line. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is name this. So I clicked on the words and I said Wilkerson K _ dance beat. And I'm going to press enter, and it changed it here, and it also changed it on the timeline at the same time. So this is now called Wilkerson B. Okay. So I can now, if I want to, click on this clip and delete it. Okay, so I don't really need it anymore. But I still have this sequence here, and I would rather it wasn't in the video bin. So let me see if I can figure out how to do this. I'm going to drag it up here to the project window. Let me try that again. I just need to stay there. So let me just do this. Okay, well, I'm keeping my sequence in the video bin, it turns out. All right, so I've done that, and now I'm going to start with my audio. So I've got my dance to beat, and I'm going to drag it over to A1. Okay, so now the whole thing is here on audio on A1. And if I want to make this bigger, I can just press the plus equal key at the upper right hand side of my keyboard, make it bigger lengthwise, or I can hold down the Alt key and then do the plus, and it will make it bigger vertically. Okay, so I can see things a little bit better. So the other thing I wanted to show you right now is that, let's say I only want to see the timeline window. This is kind of a cool thing, actually. So I know I'm in the timeline window because I have a blue line around this window. And if I press the tilde key, which is right under my escape key on the upper left-hand side of your keyboard, I'm going to press it, and then I'm going to now see just my timeline right now, which right now only has audio on it. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is play it for you. I want you to listen to it and just kind of see what you think. It's 34 seconds. And one of the things I want you to notice is that there are some very fast beats at the beginning, and there are some fast beats at the end with kind of a record scratch section. And then in the middle, there is kind of some consistent snare drum beats. Okay, so let's listen to this. And to listen to this, I am going to hit my space bar, which is equivalent to hitting the play button. To kind of get the idea. So I'm going to drag my playhead, so this little home base blue icon up here on the time code. And what I want to do is kind of get to the end there. And what I'm going to do is, well, first of all, I'm going to lock my audio. So I'm locking it. And now I'm going to play it. And every time I hear a beat, I'm going to kind of think about it like when you're clapping along to music. Every time you hear a beat, I'm going to press the M button. M as in monkey. Also M as in marker. And so I'm going to be doing that. I'm not going to do the fast ones at the beginning or the end. I'm just going to do it now. So I'm going to press my space bar. Then every time I hear a beat, I'm going to press M. So I'll probably want to hit this. I'm probably going to want to hear that again and listen to it. I will give you a fun fact. I'm really not that great at doing the markers. You're going to be much better at it. I should have more markers than I do have up here. But do you see up above the time up here? I now have some markers here. So if I later on decide that I think that marker is in the wrong place, so here and scrub through. And let's say I think, oh, I should have a marker here. I can put my M up. I can also move that M. Let's say I think that M should be over here a little bit. I can move it a little bit, okay? And I can also right click on it and I can clear this marker, okay? Or I can even clear all markers and start again. I can say, wow, that did not go great. So now I'm going to put my first marker here and I'm going to try that again. So I'm going to press M and then on my space bar. So you can do that. Now, when I want to get out of the tilde, I can press if I want to get out of this view and go back to the normal view, I can press my tilde again, and I'll be back here. And notice that the markers also still showed up here in my timeline, okay? Right now, I am going to go to the very front of the timeline. So to get to the front of the timeline, I can just click on this time code up here, and my playhead's there. And then I'm going to really zoom in a little bit here. And one of the things that I want you to notice is that there are these dips and then there's a pop. So I am going to, just before every pop, I'm going to put a marker. So M. And then that happened here. And then right here, there's a pop. And then here, there is a pop. There is a pop. Okay. And then another pop. Okay. So I've got some tighter ones there. And now I'm going to go to the end of my timeline. And I could just kind of move my timeline here. I can also come here. So in the middle, you see there's a dot and there's a circle and a circle. If I grab the middle of that line, I can go to the end. Okay. So I'm going to go here. And at the very end, there's kind of a record scratch section. So I'm going to, I think it starts here. So let me just see. And that, let me just double check that. Here is, actually the record scratch section is kind of right there. Okay. So I'm going to put a marker there, M. Okay. So I've got that. And then I'm also going to put sort of all of these quick things. I think I want to move. So that's an M, another M. And then there's a double and a double, okay? And then I have this record scratch section here, okay? And I already have an idea for what I want to do with that record scratch section. And so I have one clip that I'm going to put there. So I'm going to do this so that I can see more because I want to kind of clean up my timeline. One way I'm going to clean it up is that I only want audio 1. I don't need audio 2 or 3. So I'm going to come over here to audio 2 and I'm going to right click and I'm going to delete that track. And now I'm going to go to this audio 2 and I'm going to delete the track. Okay, so I don't have those there. And then I'm going to, this is still locked, I'm going to activate all of those, but I'm going to lock V2 and V1 for now because I'm going to use V3. I'm going to put in V3, I'm going to put in my last clip. Okay, so there's one marker right there, and then I also just have the very last bit of the music. So that's right there. So M. So between these last two markers, I have an idea for what I want my shot to be, and I'm going to put that in first. So I'm going to use V1 for the middle, V2 for the beginning and end fast beats, and I'm going to do V3 for the very last beat. So let's go into our video bin, which is here, and I can look like this, but I'm going to move it into icon view. So I'm going to, down here, I'm going to change it to icon view. And it has, my project window has a blue line around it. So I'm going to look at just my video bin. And I'm going to press tilde so I can see them all. Okay, so that's kind of cool. You can see all of the ones that I want to use. And the one that I want to use is actually Dance ZZ. I want to do this one. Okay. So this is sometimes good because you can see them all. If you hover over them, you can see where they are. Let me look at Dance ZZ. I can kind of, scroll through it. So this is a really quick way to preview what you want to do. So I want to get out of it. So I'm going to tilde it. And now I'm going to look for the Dance ZZ. Okay. So I'm going to go down to the very bottom, and here is my Dance ZZ. And I'm going to double click on it. When I double clicked on it, it appeared in the source window. Okay, so now I'm having trouble seeing this. So I'm going to change my workspace once again so I can really see this. And right now, what I want to do with this is I want to end with the foot turning and kind of flying at the screen a little bit. So do you see how this foot is right, like turned? This is where I want it to end. I want this to be the last thing you see in my music video. So I'm going to put an out point right here. And so to do the out point, I'm going to press 0 for out. And look what happened. It highlighted all of this, but none of this. So that is what my out point on my video is. So I'm going to drag that over here. I want it to be in V3. I want it to be aligned with, let me just get up to Alt. Okay. So what I want to do is, hold on. I want to drag it over to V3. So I could come down here to the project window and drag it over. I can also come up here and right under the picture, I can drag the video. There's also a drag audio only button, but this video happens to only have video. So I'm going to drag this over to V3. where that is. And you know what? It's in video 3, but I want it to end there. So I'm going to put it there. So that's where it ends. Okay. But I don't want it to be this long. So I'm going to go up to the next marker and click on that. And that moved my playhead here. So I want this video to go from here to the end of the music. So I need to cut it here. So I could take my razor tool and bring it over. But a much quicker way to do that is at the place where you have your playhead. So you have your playhead here. Then I'm going to do Control K and it cut it right at that place. So I can click on either side of it. It's now 2 clips. And this clip is the one that I want to delete. Okay. So I have put in my first audio track. I put in these markers to show me where I want to put it. Let's look just what that section looks like. Okay, so I kind of see the foot at the very end. So that kind of gives it a nice punctuation. So that's enough for this video.